Have you ever wanted to share your favorite Python game with the world, but didn't know how to get it online? Look no further, because in this video I'll show you how to use the power of WebAssembly to easily convert your Python game into a web-based application that can be played by anyone with a modern web browser. Let's get started. On my desktop there is a folder called Snake, which contains the code for a simple Snake game that was developed using Python and the Pygame library. If you would like to use this code to follow along with the tutorial, you can find a link to it in the video description. If I run the code, you can see it is working fine. If I wanted to share this game with others online, I would normally have a few options. One option will be to turn my Python game into an executable file that can be run on a computer without the need of Python or Pygame to be installed. I have described the procedure in this video. This will allow others to download and play the game, but it will be still limited to just a few platforms. Another option will be to share the code for my game online, but this will require others to have Python and Pygame installed to their own computers in order to run it. This will not be the most user-friendly option, as not everyone is comfortable with installing programming languages and libraries on their own. The best option will be to offer an online version of my game that can be played directly in a web browser. This way, anyone with a modern web browser can access and play my game without the need to install anything. And this is where WebAssembly comes in. Using WebAssembly, I can take my Python game and convert it into a binary file that can be run in any web browser. This binary file will contain my Python code compiled into a special format that is optimized for web. Once I have this binary file, I can load and run it in a web browser, just like I would with any other web-based application. This means that my Python game can now be played by anyone with a modern web browser, including people using smartphones and tablets. No longer will my game be limited to just a few platforms. It can now be played by a wide range of users on a variety of devices. And because WebAssembly is designed to be fast and efficient, my game will run smoothly and quickly for all my users. To begin the conversion process, I'll first need to install the PyGBag module. This module is a tool that allows me to compile Python code into WebAssembly bytecode using a simple command line interface. To install the PyGBag module, I'll need to open a terminal window and enter the following command: pip install pygbag. After the installation is complete, we can move on to the next step. We are just a command away from converting our game to WebAssembly. But before that, we need to make some changes to the code. First of all, the main code file where our code starts executing must be named main.py. My project is small, so it only contains one code file, which I have named main.py. Now, inside the code, we have to import the async.io module. Now we have to modify the code to use an async main function. I'll leave all the definitions and objects creation outside of the main function. My main function will only contain the game loop. So I type async def main and I indent all the code with a tab. Now, at the end of the game loop, we have to add one more line of code. Await async.io.sleep 0. We are almost ready. We now have to call the main function like this: async.io.run parenthesis main. Our code is now ready to be converted. As you can see, the game is running as expected. To begin the conversion process, let's open a terminal and navigate to the desktop where our game folder is located. We can do this by using the cd command followed by the name of the directory, in this case, desktop. Now we can run the pygbag command followed by the name of our game's directory, in this case, Snake. Pygbag Snake. This will start the conversion process and compile our Python game into WebAssembly bytecode. The conversion process is now complete, and we can test the resulting code immediately. The BigBang module has also started a web server for us, so we can open a web browser and navigate to localhost 8000 to see our game start to load. After a few seconds, the game will be fully loaded and ready to play. We have successfully converted our Python game into a web-based application using WebAssembly. If you find this information useful, please consider giving this video a like to help more people learn about this easy process. Your support helps me to create more useful content for you. Thank you very much. If we look inside the Snake folder again, we can see a new folder called Build. Inside this folder, there is a folder called Web, which contains everything we need to share our game online. This folder includes an index.html file and a .apk file which contains the WebAssembly code for our game. To share our game online, we have two options. We can upload the files from the web folder to our own web server, or we can use a hosting service like itch.io to share our game with others. Both of these options allow us to share our game with a wide audience of players. I have uploaded the game to my own web server at παιχνιδάκια.gr/snake if you would like to try it out. For the past 16 years, I have been using Bluehost as my web host provider. If you are looking for a reliable platform to host your game, be sure to check the video description for a link to Bluehost's website. If you are interested in learning more about building games with Python, be sure to check out my video on how to create the Snake game and my video on building the classic Pong game. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.